Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today we are going to learn how to make this checkered woven heart. It's almost Valentine's Day when I'm recording this, and I'm making this for Valentine's Day, but you can make it any time of the year you want a checkered, different kind of heart on your collage. So, we will start from scratch. Let's go. Now you can do these any way you want and take them from any corner and weave them out. So I'm going to try one today that is a little different. I'm going to make it out of a dictionary page and see what that looks like. So let's start. The first thing you will do is fold it in half. And be sure to not fold it over the jagged edges. You want smooth edges for this. And turn it over like this and draw a heart, half a heart on it. Start down here, up you go, and down to the point. Just like that. Now leave it closed and cut it out. And you will have a beautiful heart. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Now you already have a line at this fold down the center. Let's draw that a little darker. If you have a mat with a grid on it, you can make use of it and have the center there and the point come down there and line up your ruler that way. But you don't have to have it. There we go. There's our line. And we also want a line across, about halfway. I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. So, let's look at our heart again. We wove from the center down. And here we wove out, but we could have woven up. So you have to decide where you want to start weaving. Now, you will have to decide how wide you want your strips. Now, I don't want them real wide. A half an inch is probably too big. Maybe a centimeter. What do you think about that? I think a centimeter would be nice size. And we need to mark where we may need to cut our strips. All right. And then draw across this one side. Just kind of eyeball it. You don't have to be real picky. I don't know what this will look like with my dictionary page, but it will be fun to find out. It's kind of hard to see the marks, so be careful with what you mark with, though, because it will show somewhat. Okay, and now we need to go up to this part and mark the centimeters on here. We need to draw our lines going this way. Along this. See that? And then draw our lines this way. Up and down. So that we don't cut our lines, our pieces of paper totally off when we cut them. I hope that makes sense. I think it'll make sense when you do it. All right. So now do you see these? These lines are going from the middle to the outside and from the middle here to the outside. And these lines, I don't know why I was worrying about drawing them because they don't show on this side. So what we need to do is cut from the outside to our middle line. And start at the far bottom and cut towards the center. Do you see that here? And these are lines that we will weave through. Let's leave one line uncut, and that will be the end we paste on. Now, turn it around and cut the up and down lines. If you have trouble cutting straight lines, as you're cutting, look where the point of your scissors is going. It should line up with your line, and then cut. Don't so much look at where the blade is cutting, but the end of your scissors, the point, where is it at? If it's on the line, you should be cutting a nice straight line. One more, and we'll go ahead and do that one to the end there. All right, but we haven't done the center line. I don't think we'll need to. Now, this is all ready to weave. So take a contrasting color. I think this would be pretty in this one. And we need to cut a strip. If you have a Fiskars cutter, you can use that for this one. You want to make the lines, though, the same width, 1 millimeter, as you did the lines on your heart. So let's mark them. Okay, now either draw the line all the way across on every one of these with your ruler and cut them with scissors, or use your cutting board. It's much quicker if you have one of these to use one of these and just cut strips out. And if these aren't exact, it shouldn't hurt, because my blue ones on that one over there were not exact. Just kind of eyeballed. a pile of strips. I hope it'll be enough. I might have to find another piece to cut, but these are my weaving strips. So bring your heart over. You'll need some glue. I'm just using stick glue. Like this. And start weaving. Now my first one needs to be on top of this line. I didn't cut this line, but I need to bring this one right up to it. See how that is? And then I need to probably pull it out somewhat and weave it over and under my other strips. It takes some patience to do this, but it sure is pretty when it's done. And bring it down so that we're even. Now, put a dab of glue underneath here. Be sure it's tucked in there as tightly as you can. And then pull up these one by one and put a little bit of glue underneath them. Now, on this one, I let my colors stream down and stream out. On this one, I don't think I want them to do that. So I will cut them along the edges of the heart as I weave them. Just like that. And I may save this piece. It can be used at this end. So, let's take another piece, and when you weave, you know, you go every other one. So it'll go under this top one and over the next one. Over that one. As I say, this is a little tedious, but doable. You just have to have a lot of patience. And this is flimsy paper, my book paper, and it doesn't make it easier. If you have heavier paper, it is a little easier. Just pull it down till we see where we're at with it. We want to push it back up. Yep. Let's add a little glue to that end and push it back up underneath just a little bit. There we go. And glue it down. And then again, whoops, lift up each one of these strips and put some glue underneath it. Being sure it's tucked in nice and tight as we go. There we go. And you keep doing that till you reach the outside edge. Oops! But be careful if you use fragile paper like I'm using. There we go. So we need to go ahead and put our next one here. There, one side is finished. Now you do the same thing to this side. Pull it over. Take one of your longer pieces and start right here the same way. Now I'm going to go under because that makes it right. Well, no, I need to go over, don't I? Yeah, I need to go over. Make it right with the line it is lining up with over on the other side. Here we are. I'm going to twist this over here. There. I'll wait to cut that off until I get a few more on here. So, now we need to go the opposite way. Weaving isn't hard, but these have a life of their own, I swear. And it isn't the easiest thing to do these. You just have to have a lot of patience. And they will work out. I'm going to put a little glue on this end as it's going to go under. There we go. That way. That way. And there we have our second row. Ready for our third one. Oh, I think we're going to have plenty. Maybe I'll take a little wider one. Although I tried to cut them all the same size, I didn't. So let's see if we can get these going. Where'd you do it? There we are. Come on, over that. Let's get these glued down. I think I will call that close enough. So you need to glue down some of these little edges here real well. And let's flatten it and cut around the edge. And you can tell where to cut by turning it over and cutting along this edge. And you might have to glue down some of these that are underneath that didn't get glue on them. And there we go. We have our woven heart. Isn't that pretty? Now, as I said, if you want to do like this one, you'll have to have it measured out already to know how long to make your strips or how to leave them. And you'll have to make more strips to do that. And these are just little hearts I cut out and put over the big heart. But this is your basic woven heart. Now you can do anything you want from here. You can put a little heart here or a message here, anything you want. Just be sure all these little tabs are glued down well. And I would Mod Podge it if I was you, and that will give it some stability and keep those edges glued down. So, I hope you've enjoyed learning how to do this woven heart. I think they're really pretty, and it depends on what colors you use, what they look like. You can get all kinds of looks with different color combinations. So I wish you luck in this. I hope you have fun doing it. And Valentine's Day is coming up. If it is for you, I'll wish you a happy Valentine's Day and happy crafting. Bye-bye.